that there are external forces that have held the House in Kisii, the County Assembly in Kisii, captive.
I confirm.
Anything as we finish ahead of time?
Even from the report from public participation, Honorable Speaker, you could clearly see that it was one direction. Therefore, it depicts the kind of assembly that we have in Kisii, an assembly that is held captive, an assembly that is under instructions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will not want to take more time than you've been gracious enough to allow us. With that, I'm done with the witness. Thank you very much.
Cross-examination, a few minutes.
We have nothing to cross-examine on.
Thank you. Your final witness. Do you still wish to call your final witness?
Madam Speaker, I don't know whether there is any senator that wishes to seek any clarification from the witness. I'll possibly request for a minute or two with the team and the client so that we can possibly, I'll be able to answer you so that I may need to consult.
Let me reconfirm whether there are senators who would wish to anything. Senator Gloria.
Madam Speaker, it's just a simple clarification. The witness has said that this is a county assembly that is under instructions, alluding that it's under instructions from the governor. I would like to ask the witness whether the deputy governor was also under instructions from the governor to receive to send 100,000 to the managing director of GASCO.
Honorable Speaker, the Deputy Governor responded to his case.
Yes, thank you. That question clearly would have been responded to by a different person. Senator Kisang.
Madam Speaker, mine is a quick one because generally, if you go through the affidavit, there is nothing that is related with basically the charges before us. But I just wanted to find out from the MCA, because the role of MCAs and ourselves is to oversight the counties. So if I don't know if the witness has any evidence, because he has said if you question the governor on governance, you will be dealt with. I don't know if he has any evidence, and I know also, as an MCA, they should start the process of impeaching the governor if they have an issue with him. I don't know why he's bringing in the governor in this particular issue, and he's not under any arrest.
Senator Kisang, let him respond.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
He's finished.
I wish to respond. But like writing that letter to COB was part of our oversight role.
In the interest of time, I will request that we move to the final. Councils need a minute to confirm.
We have, Honorable Madam Speaker, I've already consulted. We will be calling one last witness, Honorable Amos Beg-Yonderi, whom my senior Mr. Katwa Kigen will lead in evidence. He'll be here in a minute.
Senator Madago, you have not pressed an intervention button. That's why I am not giving you the space.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I wanted to inform Senator Kisang.
He's not on his feet anymore. How will you inform him?
Okay, allow me to ask.
We have already closed on that and moved on. Senator Madago, you are a ranking member of this House.
But I think it is important for this House to know that when senators ask some of these things, and we have been in the field as the people responsible for devolution, to also give some of the information.
You'll get a chance.
The Honorable Member of County Assembly was the chair for Health Committee at the County Assembly of Kisii, was de-whipped for accompanying the Health Committee.
Senator Madago, you know the rules and procedure of this House. You'll have a chance with another witness to state those issues, but what you have stated is not official. Counsel for Deputy Governor, are you ready?
Yes, I'm waiting for the sergeant at arms to usher in the witness.
How long are you going to be?
20 minutes?
Could make it shorter.
I can, yes.
Make it 10 minutes. There is still a whole long procedure before we finalize.
Oh, okay.
Let the witness be sworn in.
I, Amos Mbegi Onderi, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect to the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Could you do a brief introduction of yourself, your names, and what you do for a living?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Amos Mbegi Onderi, a member of the Kisii County Assembly, serving my second term.
Okay. Now, we've been asked to make your testimony as brief as possible. Honorable Senators, the affidavit is at page 201 of the DG's bundle. If you could be shown that page 201.
Yes, that's my affidavit.
Confirm that the affidavit running from page 201 to 203 is your affidavit?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
You've had an opportunity to look at it and you adopt it as it is?
Yes, the Honorable Speaker.
Now, I would like to go straight away to paragraph 3 of your affidavit. Could you confirm this is what you say at paragraph 3? I'm one of the MCAs who opposed the motion for lack of adequate evidence and fatal procedural defects.
Absolutely correct, Speaker.
Now, you recall that there were objections at the start of these proceedings and the Honorable Speaker made a ruling.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Part of the questions that had been raised for determination was whether or not the motion was out of time and whether it had particulars to the notice. You recall that?
That is correct, Honorable Speaker.
The ruling was that it is a matter of fact which would be determined after hearing the evidence.
I agree, Honorable Speaker.
Is that an issue that is relevant to these proceedings then?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, to the extent that...
yes, okay.
Yeah.
Now, just let me lead you, if you don't mind. So, when was the motion moved?
The motion was moved on 21st of February 2024.
And when was the notice issued?
The notice is issued on 13th of February 2024.
The notice having been issued on 13th of February 2024, what was the latest period under the standing orders of Kisii County Assembly that these impeachment proceedings should have been concluded?
By 23rd of February, this motion should have been disposed of.
With that then, and considering all the evidence that has been laid, when was the public participation?
Public participation was done on 26th of February 2024.
Was it within the time allowed in the public participation?
It was outside the timelines.
Standing orders?
It was outside the timelines.
By how many days?
By about
3 days.
3 days
okay.
or so.
And when was the debate on the impeachment canvassed and votes cast?
The impeachment motion proceeded for deliberation and disposal of on 29th of February 2024.
Was that within time?
It was outside timelines.
By how many days?
By about 6 days.
And you had the mover of the motion also readily admit, Honorable Siocha, your colleague, readily admit that it was out?
He did admit.
Okay. Now, is this one of the issues you raised?
I have raised that matter on the answer if you dare to look at it.
So why would you say if we dared? If we looked at it, isn't it?
Yes, if you looked at it, yeah.
So as it were, when you stand here, you are saying the point you are prosecuting now that it was out of time is an issue you prosecuted at the
It
county.
is an issue already prosecuted at the county assembly.
Okay, then the next issue is the notice issued on the 13th of February, which you are referring to. Could you confirm that that notice is the one to be found at page 5 of that bundle, page 5?
Yes, this is the notice of motion.
Now, did that notice have particulars, details and particulars as required by Standing Order number 60?
No, it only had the grounds, and if you look at it, those grounds have been referred to us as charges.
So it did not have particulars?
Did not have particulars of the allegation.
Okay. Now, Honorable Siocha said directly to the Senate that it had grounds and details, that it was over and above the notice that is at page 5. Do you recall anything like that?
The truth is, it did not have particulars of the allegation, and it did not have even the signatures supporting the notice.
So if Honorable Siocha said that it had details and particulars,
it would be a lie to the Senate.
It would be a lie, okay. Now, the other issue is whether the motion was moved as required procedurally for impeachment of a governor or a deputy.
It had a lot of procedural issues.
And is it an issue you raised?
I have raised it not once, not twice.
Okay, and and it is in the Hansard, isn't it?
It's captured in the Hansard.
Okay, I've been given 10 minutes, so we will trust that the honorable senators will look at the Hansard and where you've made your contributions. Now, what is your point in saying that the motion was not properly moved?
In normal circumstances, and this Senate will agree with me, that the notice of motion should be in the same format and content. If you looked through the notice of motion, you will actually realize the manner in which the notice is even drafted is completely different from the motion itself.
So your position is that the notice that was moved on 13th is different from the filed motion. The notice of 13th is different from the motion that is dated 21st of February, which is at page 6.
Absolutely different.
Okay. Now, apart from that, do you have another contention about the propriety of the moving of this motion for impeachment?
Yes, ordinarily, we needed to have even formed a committee at which the deputy governor would have been heard. That is contemplated in the standing orders, and that report supplied to the deputy governor, but all those ones were ignored.
So no committee was formed to...
No committee was formed to look into the matter of deputy governor.
And did the assembly at any time before they invited the deputy governor on 29th determine what charges he was to... Did they ever sieve or evaluate the allegations made by Honorable Siocha as captured at page 5 and 6 before inviting the Honorable...
Unfortunately, from 13th to 29th, the deputy governor only had a single audience on 29th, when was the last day of the motion.
And before that, the assembly...
There was never an audience to the deputy governor.
Neither the assembly nor the committee had evaluated those...
Yes, you only had one audience.
What of the provisions of Section 15 of County Government Act?
Section 15 of the County Government Act requires outlines on how petitions are presented to the County Assembly in line with the standing orders.
And what standing orders are you referring to?
I will not be very clear, but...
Standing orders, in the answer you said standing orders number 197 and 198, isn't it?
Yes, those ones outlines on how petitions come to the County Assembly.
And it remains your position based on the answer that indeed the motion was not properly moved?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I'd like us to move on then to a different issue, which you've covered in your affidavit. Now, your affidavit paragraph, I would like you to go to paragraph 5. Are you at paragraph 5?
Which page?
Page 201.
Yes.
In paragraph 5, you substantially responded. What could you tell the Honorable Senate what you are responding to in the rest of the body of your affidavit?
In paragraph 5, I'm responding to the report that was tabled to the County Assembly, issued to the clerk, and the Speaker and a copy to the Deputy Governor, which I accessed when the Deputy Governor did debut his document on allegations that have been brought to the Assembly on a petition, and this is the basis and the premise under which I have sworn the affidavit.
And what was the nature of that presentation to the County Assembly?
It was through a petition.
On what kind of a forum?
A public participation. It originated from public participation. Yeah.
And that public participation set of complaints is the one at page 56 of the Deputy Governor's bundle, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember the name?
The name of yes, Benson Yaga Camisario.
And so you have responded to those issues that came through public participation?
It is on that basis that I have sworn affidavit.
Okay. Now, starting with the public participation, did you agree as a committee on the funding of that public participation?
Unfortunately, no. The Speaker did indicate that we will move to public participation, but why the call is that he did not even be able to give the details of that public participation. Who is going to conduct that public participation? Okay. It did not come out.
Because of pressure of time, just let me lead you.
Yep.
So, was funding provided for?
What I came to realize later, yes, it was done by His Excellency the Governor.
I'm saying from the County Assembly, did you agree as a County Assembly that we are dedicating so much money from the County Assembly funds?
Unfortunately, no.
It was not agreed on.
Yes.
Did you define the questions that you are going to pose and invite the public participants to canvass?
No, not to my knowledge.
Did you determine who was to preside over that public participation?
No.
And have you seen the report?
I have looked through the report, but the report is not...
The first question I want to ask you, is the report signed?
No, it's not signed, it's not adopted.
Now, there is a reference to videos that came afterwards. Is that issue of videos captured in the public participation, in the body of the public participation report?
No, they are not.
The video is not mentioned?
No,
anywhere.
they are not.
Do you know where the videos...
Council, your time is up.
Yes.
Ask the last question.
Could I request for 5 minutes, kindly, Madam Speaker? Kindly.
Just one question, Council.
I have about 3. Could you allow me to just 3 questions?
Proceed.
Oh, thank you very much. Paragraph 8, 8202.
Yes.
Is it true that in that paragraph you have addressed one of the issues that came from public participation?
Yes, that was accusing the Deputy Governor on an absorption of the budget.
And what is your testimony on behalf of the Deputy Governor on that allegation?
That allegation should not be placed to the Deputy Governor, but rather the Governor himself.
Why?
Governor being under, the County Government Act, being the CEO of the county government, we have, for a long period, we have not been able to absorb the budget as it is revealed by the control of budget reports and have outlined in there. And Deputy Governor has equally been asking on these issues.
The Deputy Governors. And how is that relevant to these proceedings?
For insistence of asking those questions, that is why a case is brought to this House.
So this impeachment is because he's been the conscience of the office of the governor?
Absolutely.
Okay. And there are lectures on the issue of budget absorption, isn't it?
Yes.
Could you confirm those are the ones at page 121 to 142?
Yes, 121 to 122. I reports from the Controller of Budget on County Government Budget Implementation Review reports.
Okay.
And if you look through...
Because of time, I'll just ask you, what position has the Kisii County been ranked in terms of absorbing their budget?
In the first 9 months of 2020-2023, Kisii County is last.
Yes.
In the first half year 2023-2024, Kisii County government is ranked number last, 47 out of 47. In the financial year 2022-2023, which is the full year report, Kisii County is ranked number last on development expenditure as a percentage of total expenditure.
Thank you. The last issue is paragraph 9. At paragraph 9, you are making a serious contention. Paragraph 9 at page 202. What are you saying there?
I'm making a contention that this motion was single-handedly sponsored by the governor himself.
And paragraph A, what are you saying at paragraph A?
I am saying in paragraph A that during the public participation, despite the fact that there was no money that was coming from the assembly, the governor himself funded the members of the county assembly, those that I funded to him, by sending 20,000 Kenya shillings to each one of them and actually telling them to delete those messages. And he proceeded to send between 40 to 50,000 to all those members of county assembly that were participating in public participation using the cell phone number for the deputy speaker of Kisii County Assembly.
And lastly, paragraph C.
Paragraph C, I'm also looking into issues of PR to the clergy. Governor, a day to the voting, the governor had done a meeting with the clergy and indicated this motion was going to be dropped. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and I realized it was a public relation exercise.
Thank you. And paragraph D, the last one.
Paragraph D is what was very most interesting.
That should be your last question.
Yes.
Council Katwa Kigen.
I'm
Sure.
okay with that as the last one. You'll just allow me to refer him to their next and then I'm done.
Paragraph D is where members of the county assembly were instructed, all of them that were going to support the impeachment motion, that they should be able to take their photos and forward them to the governor and to the phone of the deputy speaker.
For what purpose?
For purposes of confirming where they have been able to vote.
Confirm loyalty and
loyalty, and of course there's been a lot of intimidation in Kisii County.
158 to 161, isn't it? At page 158 to 161, you've given pictures that were sent to the governor.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Council Kigen. It's time for cross-examination.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. One of the honorable senators was asking whether you have been de-whipped. Have you been de-whipped?
Honorable Speaker, fortunately, yes, I've been de-whipped. I'm a member of the ODM committee, not myself alone, together with other members. I've been de-whipped from all the county assembly committees, but I'm already in court.
Council Kigen, it's time for cross-examination.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I really appreciate your accommodation. That's all the questions I had. And Madam Speaker, I want to remind my agitated friend that he had said he's not going to ask any questions to this witness. And unless
Just leave it to him, Council Kigen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Do you wish to take
Only
some time to
two
cross-examine?
questions.
Okay.
You have specified two issues of the budget, yes?
Absolutely.
Do you know the charges before this assembly?
I do know.
Do they relate to the evidence you have given? Is there any issue of the assumption of budget?
They relate to the extent that that is what has triggered the deputy governor to be here.
Is there any question about the absorption of budget?
Of course, there is not.
Thank you.
But it's an agreement.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Re-exam, Madam Speaker.
I'll give you 1 minute.
Yes, that's
Just
okay.
one question.
Could you explain what is the relevance of the question of budget absorption to these impeachment proceedings?
For me, it is a question that the deputy governor has consistently asked, and the governor is not comfortable with those questions, and as a result, I guess, is the reason why you sit before this House, part of the reasons.
I hand over the witness to the honorable senators. I know you are in a hurry to leave, but just wait. There are a few questions you are being asked.
Senator Beth Siango.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this chance. Just want to know from the Honorable Member of County Assembly. He is telling us of how the governor has been performing badly. And the case before us here is totally different. My question is, him as an elected member of County Assembly, what has he been doing in his ward where he is to be oversighted by his electorate? 2, if the governor has not been performing, why have you not brought a motion to impeach the governor? Thank you.
Thank you. 2 questions. Whether it's related to the case, as I said, it relates to the extent that the deputy governor has been asking. it severally, and the reason as to why probably is also in this house. But secondly, he's also asking a question on what I've been able to do in my own ward. I have raised those serious matters for Kisii County in relation to governance. And by the way, for your information, at some point, the governor, for insistence of raising these issues, has declared that any other MCA raises such issues, he automatically becomes an acting MCA in those respective wards. And that's very unfortunate for this house to hear. I think I've responded to the two questions.
Senator Joe Nyoto.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just have two questions for the witness. One, from his affidavit, and I'm referring to paragraph 9, Madam Speaker, where the witness alleges that, or testifies that this impeachment motion was sponsored by the governor because, of course, of the nuisance that the deputy governor has been causing him because of insisting on responsible governance. While I agree with him that it is possible for somebody to be malicious, Madam Speaker, but I'm concerned. Does the witness, has the witness read the charges leveled against the deputy governor? And if yes, is he of the view that just because a motion was sponsored by the governor or whoever, that their allegations should not be investigated by this House? Number two, Madam Speaker, the witness has testified that MCAs received money from the governor, 20,000 Kenya shillings each, and they were instructed to delete the messages that showed that money had been received through M-Pesa. So my question is, did the witness receive 20,000 alongside other MCAs? And if he did not receive any money, how then did he establish that money had been sent to other MCAs who had already deleted the messages? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Two questions on whether if it was actually sponsored, then whether then the churches should be able to proceed or something of the sort. As I said, it is very clear, Honorable Speaker, that if it was public participation for the assembly, then there was no role of the executive sponsoring that public participation. It automatically tells you the influence and the interest they have in that very particular motion. And it is to that extent, I say, that the motion belongs to the sponsor, and I've already identified who the sponsor is. And Honorable Speaker, the second question is on whether I did receive also, I was a recipient of the 20,000 Kenya shillings. I want to say I did not, but County Assembly do not exist in isolation. Those who receive communicate to us and demonstrate when they have received. And just like anything will happen in this Senate, and the honorable members of this Senate share amongst themselves.
Senator Okongo Mugeni, and the final one will be Senator Wakili Sigei, and then we close down on this session.
Yes, I just wanted to ask the Honorable MCA, what is at page 158? That is the ballots that were used during the impeachment. Who are the officers who preside over the voting during impeachment at the County Assembly, and who takes custody of the ballots that are used in the impeachment? Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Okongo Mogeni. One, you're asking who are the officers who take charge on the voting. Of course, the officers are the clerk of the County Assembly together with the officers of the County Assembly. But I will tell you without blinking, Senator Mogeni, that the Kisii County Assembly is in captive. And the instructions are taken as clear as they are provided. And secondly, you're also asking who is the custodian of the ballot papers. Honorable Senator, the ballot papers should be kept within the Assembly. But I will tell you, as a matter of fact, I had one of the honorable members yesterday did indicate that they were taking these photos for purposes of future memory. But Honorable Senator, I will challenge your mind. Why future memory? Are they also reminding themselves of the identity cards?
Senator Okongo, very briefly. Can you give Senator Okongo the mic?
Yeah, you have answered my question. I simply wanted you to tell me the officers that
The clerk of the assembly and his
preside
officers.
over the exercise, the clerk.
Yes.
And they're the ones who keep custody of the ballots.
Absolutely.
So the ballots could end in any wrong hands. That's all. So you have clarified. It has got nothing to do with the governor.
Senator Wakili, the final interaction.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question, actually, my desire to ask the question was with regards to the prior witness, but noting that the letter I desired to get clarification was signed by the witness who is on the stand right now, I believe you would.
Yes.
This is with regards to the letter appearing at page 143 of the bundle, the letter which you signed to the Comptroller of Budget on alteration of the Kisii County supplementary budget estimates 2023-2024 by the Kisii County Executive. Now, my question is very specific. I unfortunately do not have the benefit of having been involved earlier on in the proceedings, so I do not know. I need your clarification whether there was a direct response to this letter by the CEC Finance, and if so, what was the response? And two, the relationship between what was raised in the letter and the proceedings which are currently before this particular House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, there has been a response to the CEC Finance, and I guess the CEC Finance has also been able, Honorable Speaker, to respond to the Control Budget, but I have not gotten a window of what that response is. When I get it, I will be able to look into it. Then secondly, you're also asking on the relevance of this letter to the proceedings of this House. And I have said this letter is also a demonstration of some of the issues we have been raising at the County Assembly. Together, also the DG has been raising those issues. And is this part of the reason why I know the DG is here. And as already indicated, so many members get disciplined when they are able to question the authority in Kisii.
Senator Sifuna, we have closed. Make it very short.
Did I hear the witness saying that there was no response from the Control of Budget? Is that what you're saying?
I said it has been a response, but I have not looked through the response.
You haven't looked through the response?
The one that has been
from
sent
the Control
to
of
the
Budget?
Control of Budget, I have not had a look at it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So that brings us to the end of the Deputy Governor's case, the defense to the impeachment proceedings. So we are proceeding on to the closing remarks, and I need the councils to indicate the maximum time you can take in the closing remarks is 1 hour. The standing orders provide for a maximum of 1 hour. I would hope that both of you can confer and give us the timing you need for the closing remarks, beginning with the County Assembly Council. Council for the County Assembly.
Madam Speaker, may you kindly refresh my memory? I lost on the question that you are seeking.
It's about the closing remarks. The standing orders provide for up to a maximum of 1 hour. Closing remarks, both on your side and the side of the DG. So I was asking whether you two could confer with Council Katwa Kigen, because the maximum amount of time is 1 hour, whether you could take less time to do your closing remarks.
I will try to take less than 1 hour, but I will not exceed 1 hour, Madam Speaker, kindly. And I'm ready.
Council Jiro?
Madam Speaker, did I gather you to hear that I and Mr. Keegan, we have 1 hour to share, or each has 1 hour?
Each 1 hour.
will actually take less than that, perhaps even about 30 minutes or 40.
Thank you very much. That's considerate of you. Council Keegan, how much time do you take?
I indicated, Madam Speaker, that I will make an effort of falling short of 1 hour, but I will definitely not exceed 1 hour.
So we can then, I believe you are ready to proceed. Council for the County Assembly.
Madam Speaker, we were seeking indulgence for about 10 minutes so that we can collate our evidence. And then we can perhaps reconvene if you're so pleased.
Okay, 10 minutes it is. Come back ready. We hope you save the 10 minutes in your remarks. So we will suspend the sitting for 15 minutes, and then we come back in exactly 15 minutes to have the closing remarks. Thank you. Honorable Senators, it's now time to adjourn the House for 15 minutes, to suspend for 15 minutes, and we will revert after 15 minutes from now. Thank you.
Fomi kijipa, mimi nani. Now it's time to get extreme ice fresh. Ukiwa fresh all day, una stay fresh all night. Niki step onto the seed, na nikiona painting.